Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. And we are pleased to be joined by none other than the Onion, Todd Bodine, who, of course, will be driving in the 62 Toyota for Halmar Friesen Racing. And this will be his 800th start this weekend. How's it going, man?
Crazy, isn't it? 800 times.
800 times. Did you ever think you'd get to 800? I know this idea came up. Marcus Lemonis from Camping World came up with this idea. I think you were at 794 and you raced 6 truck races so far, and you've been to some pretty unique tracks.
Yeah, the criteria. Well, let me back up a little bit. So when this first came up, I sat down with my boss at Fox, Lindsay Mandia, and we went over the schedule. This was last year when the schedule, even before the schedule was out. Of course, Fox has the schedule. And we went over the schedule and which races she felt would be okay for me to not be in the studio doing the show. And she came up with 9 races, and out of those 9, I got to pick 6. So the first criteria for picking the 6 races were, what racetracks can we have the most fun after the race? So that was how we picked these races. We went to Las Vegas. The thing is, we've had a lot of friends come to all these races and celebrate with us, and of course, before the race, I can't have any fun. So we stayed after the race a couple days at every place and had some fun. We were Las Vegas and Sonoma. I don't know. There's always something. Yeah, there's always something to do with these racetracks. We've hung out and done it. Texas wasn't, but we had to do Texas because I won 6 times there, so had to do that one.
Yeah.
And ending it here in Pocono, it's kind of like my second home. I grew up here. I came to this racetrack for the first time in 1972. Was 8 years old, watched my brother Jeff race modified, and I've been coming here ever since. And the Mattioli family is really always welcomed the Bodines with open arms and really treated us one of their family. Doc was always there for driver intros and big hug and welcome home, he'd say, and Miss Rose was there with a big old kiss on the cheek and a hug, and we were family to him, and to be able to, I wanted to do it Watkins Glen, but obviously that wasn't on the schedule, so Pocono is just like home, and here we are, last race.
Yeah. So going into this race at Pocono, this is, of course, this is, you mentioned the relationship you have with the Mattioli family, which has been legends in the sport. What is it? What were they like for people that do not know?
Just super people, just real genuine. They cared about the competitors. They cared about their fans. They wanted everybody to enjoy the experience of coming to Pocono and not only racing there, but being in the Pocono Mountains, in the Pocono region. They really cared about it. It was their home for their whole life, and it was very special to them, and they wanted everybody to know and feel how special it was.
Yeah, for sure. Going into this is the regular season finale for the Truck Series. Of course, it'll be on Big Fox as well this weekend. Last race to get into the playoffs, which begins next week as the trucks return to IRP for the first time since 2010. I can't believe it's been that long since they've been gone there. But going into this, the regular season finale, the guys at the cut line, Enfinger, Crafton, Derek Kraus, who can realistically point his way in. And then you got guys like Ankrum, DiBenedetto, Tanner Gray, guys who have to win to get in. What's that going to be like being a part of that and from the driver's seat? How do you think it's all going to play out? Because it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's, one thing when we did this, Lindsay didn't want me to be in the playoffs. She wanted me in the studio, which was just fine for me because I didn't want to be in the playoffs. I didn't want to affect anything that could happen. And hindsight 2020, I should have thought further ahead and realized Pocono was kind of the same situation. You get down to that last race, and there's guys on the bubble. There's guys that have to win to get in, and the first goal for me on Saturday is to not affect that.
Yeah.
Try, race those guys a little differently. Make sure I'm not messing up something that they've worked all year to get to. So that's the first goal, and I understand it. I know my position on the track and what we're attempting and trying to do, and we're not about being in the points. We're not about affecting the points race and the playoff race. So, the main goal is go out and have fun and stay out of everybody's way.
Yeah, for sure. Going into this race, it's only, and it's a short race. It's only 60 laps.
Yeah.
So, the sense of urgency is going to be on here at Pocono.
It always is. It's such a short race, and strategy really doesn't play into it unless you get that untimely caution. Because if you're within a certain time limit of the leader, you can pit on the green and come out in front of the leader, and that's all you're going to do, right? So there's really not a lot of strategy involved, and it's all on the racetrack. So, we just, like I said, we just got to race our own race and not affect everybody else's race.
Yeah, for sure. Going and really, and this race is also going to be on on Fox. So that's that, and the Truck Series hasn't been on Fox in a while. So to have it on national TV, I know it may not be, a big deal to some people, but to me, it's a big deal when it's on one of the four major networks.
Absolutely. And that's why it's on Fox, because it is the last race of the regular season and the playoffs are on the line. A lot of drama. That's why they put it on the big Fox. And it's pretty neat because to go to have my 800 race on big Fox, have all my bosses in LA watching. It's a big deal for me too. So, let's not underplay that at all. To have all of LA, which they had to approve all of this and give me the okay to do it, along with Lindsay. It's pretty big deal for me also.
Yeah, for sure. Is this? I figured that you'll get this question a lot, but are we done seeing Todd Bodine after this weekend in a race car?
Not in a race car, as a paid professional racer in NASCAR. Yeah, probably. It's the reality is, would I like to continue? Absolutely. We're having so much fun again, and approaching it different than we did when we did it full time. We're in this right now for fun. Go out there and go as fast as I can go. My wife Janet's having fun. We're back at the racetrack with our friends. So it's just been exciting to us and a homecoming. But the reality is, it takes a lot of money to do this.
Yes.
And we would have to go out and search a sponsor. Marcus, for him to step up and do what he did for us is just phenomenal. And we appreciate it more than he'll ever know. But to go out there and try to find some sponsor, some corporation to do this on a full-time basis, that's a hard thing to do. And if we could, I might think about it. Heck, I love doing it. Why wouldn't I? I think if I was going to do it on a full-time basis, obviously I'd have to do some things different. But the problem there is, I love my job at Fox. I love what I do there, and I don't want to give that up. That would be the hard part. So, as a professional racer, yeah, it's probably over, but I would love to run the Trans Am series. I'd like maybe to do SRX if they'd have me one time, one year. There's a lot of road racing and stuff to do for fun. Like Bobby Labonte's racing modifieds for fun. There's a lot of guys doing, like Kenny Wallace races his dirt modified every week. There's a lot of things we can do to have fun and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
Just not at a professional level.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of racing, and you can still do you can still do the TV stuff as well. So because I bet that's one of the best things out there to be in the studio with Caitlin and Trevor and all those and all your colleagues over at Fox. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, I was very lucky when that came along. When I quit racing in the middle of 13, 2 weeks later, uh, Fox called me up, producer called me up and said, "Hey, Michael has to go to Goodwood. Would you want to fill in the booth for him in Iowa?" I said, "Heck yeah, I'll give it a shot. No big deal. We'll have some fun." And I've been working for him ever since.
Yeah.
And it's been a great time, great people. It's a whole different world, the TV world. It's a lot harder than people think it is. I can tell you
Yeah.
that. But I'm enjoying it. I wouldn't trade anything right now.
All right. Well, Todd, I'll let you get back to. I know you got a ton of stuff that you're doing, and but thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and good luck on your 800th start in NASCAR.
Well, thank you, pal. I appreciate you having me on again.
Thanks, Todd.